We've got a special guest in the studio, women's health advocate, Cindy Arunga Ntambwe-Kalala. Welcome to the Spice Drive. And I saw you enjoying that Whitney Houston record.
Thank you, Monique. I actually haven't heard that song in a while. It's kind of nice to, kind of get up with it.
Yeah, it's nostalgic and it's a really beautiful song for women. You particularly are a mother, wife, go-getter, entrepreneur, and you're a women's health advocate. You launched a business smack in the middle of a pandemic, and I think that is admirable, very risky, and it's only fierce go-getting women that do such things. Before we get into that and get into this amazing product that we have here, guys, you need to stream spicefm.co.ke just to take a look at what we have here. Take us through your journey to where you are now. Where did this all begin? Who is Cindy?
Oh my goodness, that's a loaded question, Monique. I could talk about that all day, but the long and short of it is, so I was born here in Kenya. I was raised here in Kenya. I went to Precious Blood, shout out.
Yay.
And I left the country shortly after that, and I went to the States where I lived for a really long time. I got married, had my children, and we would come back and forth while I was there. And 3 years ago, we came on a trip, and we were here for a little bit over a month. And it was interesting because within that month, I had to use a few different products, and amongst those were feminine hygiene products.
Yes.
And it's just what was available to me that time was very different than what I was used to.
Yeah. And
from then, I started my career in quality assurance.
Yes.
And so I've always been the curious person who's like, why?
Yes.
And when I saw the quality of the products that were available to me, I just wanted to understand where that was coming from and why. And so I just kind of started digging in and started looking into it. And, what started as a passion project of trying to find out the ins and outs of what was making this product what it was, ended up being Vaji.
Wow.
So 3 years in the making, and we're here now.
Congratulations. That's interesting to note. A mother, a wife, a daughter, and now you are the CEO of Vaji. We're going to get into this. You're saying when it comes to many other products, but specifically menstrual care, products are different outside of the continent, outside of Kenya, versus here. So whatever people are using here, when it comes to trusted brands, things are different abroad. How many people know this?
I would hope that a lot of people know by now, because about 3 years ago, at the same time that I was having this experience, there was a big movement. It was the hashtag #MyAlwaysExperience. It was started by Shafo Kore. She was the whistleblower, and it really grew. So I think that really brought a lot of awareness to it, because there were side-by-side pictures at that time of the products that, had the same labels here versus what somebody had bought abroad. And so that really started that conversation. But, like any hashtag, it kind of transfer a little bit and then it dies off, and people forget about it and move on to the next thing. And so I think that there might have been that initial awareness, but it's not necessarily a conversation that's carried the distance. But I've just always been that person that justice is a big deal to me. I was pregnant, 8 months pregnant at a protest.
Right.
So I'm that person who is going to find the right thing and say, you know what, let's bring justice to it. And for me, just feminine hygiene products were a form of really doing my part with that, because, these... feminine hygiene, it's a form of our biology. It's not anything that we're choosing to go through. Like, our periods are not something we're choosing to go through. Heck, most people would not want to go through their period.
But we have to.
We have to. And so to have people make the choice to give products that are substandard, knowing what their effect is, to me was just, it's abhorrent.
So compared to the products that are in the market, we've seen and heard of a lot of people doing passion projects, and everyone firmly and strongly believes in the products that they make. I could imagine if I started my business, I will stand by it, and I'll go the whole mile just to make sure that people feel the same way I feel about it. Let's talk about Vaji and the name Vaji, where it came from, and the fact that you decided to start a business when it comes to menstrual care and to offer women quality products. And you did this at a time where a lot of people were closing shop. A lot of people were thinking, I don't even know how I'm going to start a business or even get to work for that matter. Then you took the risk, started this. Let's talk about the name Vaji. Very interesting, and I love the colors. Very African looking and beautiful.
Thank you.
What inspired the name, and what makes your product stand out?
You know, the name came. We actually had a different name to start.
Yes.
And this name specifically came to us about maybe 2 months before we launched. We completely changed all of. We had to change our packaging because we changed the name, and it was just one day waking up and feeling like, okay, who is the woman? Who is the African woman that I see today? Who do I see on the streets of Nairobi? I see bold women. I see confident women. I see women who are not afraid to take space. And so then I thought, why would we name our product anything other than what it is? You know, Vaji is obviously a very bold play on the word vagina.
Right.
And with good reason. Because why should we hide it? It's been done for years and years, and we've seen the results of that. You know, there's a lot of violence towards women as a result of just making this thing that is supposed to be beautiful shameful.
Right.
And so this was our part to demystify that and to make this a thing that we're proud of.
Very bold, very African, beautiful, I must add. And I must commend you on the packaging. Very clean, very, it rings. You can't forget it. There's a lot of young women listening to you, and yours was inspired, choosing to pursue this business was inspired by the need for quality. Would you say that this product right here is what every woman needs? What every woman is asking for? There's a lot of money being raked in when it comes to female products, when it comes to the cosmetic and beauty industry, menstrual care. That's where the money is. And there's a lot of brands tailoring products for women, and a lot of people on the decision-making table are not women. How important is this, and how would you rate this product for the women that are listening in?
You know, it's an important question for you to ask. I feel that, a lot of what we did going into just the R&D of this, again, this is 3 years in the making. We didn't wake up and say, oh, hey, here's Vaji. 3 years of hard work doing research and development, and then working with designers, working with all these different portions of the team to make it what the dream was, to make it what the vision was.
Right.
And so from the perspective of, why beautiful packaging? Because why not? Why not? We deserve beautiful things as African women too.
Right.
Right? Why should we be going to the store and having our pads wrapped in newspapers just so people can't see it? No, we should display it proudly because menstruation is the source of life. And so when I think about it from that perspective, for me, and you ask about why is this something that every woman needs? Absolutely. Because when we developed this, I had one rule, and I said, if I don't want my daughter to use it, which I've got a 9-month-old daughter.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. But I said, if I don't want my daughter to use it, then I don't want to put it out to anybody, because when all is said and done, what I'm using, I pass on to my child. What my child uses, she passes on to the next generation. And what does that look like? Because if I'm using products that are filled with chemicals and dyes, a lot of the time that's staying inside of me and is creating a deposit. What does that mean for the interaction with my body? And what does that mean for what I pass on to my child and what she passes on?
Wow. Love it. And you decided to go the extra mile and turn it into a business. What are the challenges when it comes to starting a passion project like this and making money out of it? You launched this year, officially in Nairobi in Kenya.
That is correct.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And there's a lot of people who have dreams just like you. They're listening to the show right now and inspired by your story. How easy is it for a young African woman to start a business in this country?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think when you ask how easy it is, it's not easy. And if you're looking for easy, don't do it. It's not easy. It's if it's going to be worthwhile to you, if it's something you believe in, do it. Go the extra mile. Work twice as hard as the men because you're going to need it. When it comes to, earlier, Monique, you mentioned there's a lot of money in feminine hygiene. I wish we were seeing a lot of money.
Yeah.
I wish we were, because some of the challenges, like you asked, are bringing in a new brand when people have been used to seeing certain brand names in the market. And so, there's a lot of people who are like, well, I don't love my experience with X, Y, and Z, but I'm not willing to try something new, even though it is better for me. So that's a really big challenge, getting through that mental block. And, unfortunately, there's what I call a colonizer mindset. And it's hard to go into it while being politically correct. But, a lot of the times we've been conditioned to feel that if it's coming from elsewhere, if it's coming from the West especially, then it's better. Well, those people in the West don't know you. They don't know any of your relatives. They don't know any of your friends. So if they're giving you a product that is substandard and that they know is harming you, they don't care. They don't have that personal connection to you. So if a person in Atlanta, Georgia is making the decision on the product that's sent to you here in Nairobi, Kenya, what reason do they have to care?
Well, I love with you, it's more than just hashtag World Menstruation Hygiene Day. It's more than just a day set aside to talk about these things. You have made this part of your life, a huge part of your life. And going through your social media platforms, you've got a bold statement here, and you're saying it's all about celebrating the female experience, empowering women to live boldly in the essence of our femininity. When you speak, I can actually tell that this is something you're passionate about. What projects do you see yourself doing for the rest of the year when it comes to sensitizing and educating more women, young girls, older women, corporates, and other people involved, stakeholders, when it comes to the importance of quality products and how this is harming our bodies, and eventually, our children are, next in line.
Yes, they are.
I've got 2 girls myself, so I'm just very excited about your work.
Well, thank you. I think that, we've got a lot of exciting things coming up, and stay tuned. Our website is vajilife.com, so VAAJI life.com, and our Instagram is vajilife.
Yeah.
So if you stay tuned on there, you will see a lot of the stuff that we have coming up. However, our biggest thing right now is to have people ask why. We don't ask why enough. We see the fibroids rate skyrocketing. We see ovarian cancer rate skyrocketing, and we don't ask why. We just say, I just happen to know, 8 out of 10 of my friends have major fibroids. Why? Why? Did you know that, perhaps estrogen feeds the fibroids? And there might be something that's imitating estrogen in your products, So there's a lot of things that people just need to ask why and get to the root a little bit more. And we're hoping that we can be a really big voice in allowing and empowering people to say, okay, why is that? And to demand better for themselves, because we deserve better.
Brilliant. I love this. And I'm looking at your pages. You're doing the product justice and the importance of social presence and how you package the product. I got to experience you online. And I remember there was a conversation about menstrual hygiene, and there was a lot of noise about it, set aside for that particular day and that week, and then nothing else. But this stood out for me, and it was subtle, but it was in your face, and I loved the pages. You also have a beautiful statement on your website from the CEO, very young CEO. You're married, mother of 2. How does your husband feel about the work you do? Does he understand it? Is he encouraging when it comes to this work that you do?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I got to give him a quick shout out here because, again, like I said, this has been a 3-year journey. And so he's had his own journey with it, from, me sitting in our bedroom and saying, hey, I think there's something that needs to be done here, to converting and saying, I think I need to do something about it. And then for me to say, oh, hey, we're across the world and I think we need to move our family to go and do this thing.
Wow. So then you moved back to Kenya?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So that's a big thing for somebody who's never lived in Kenya. He's not Kenyan.
Yeah.
And so for him to say, "Oh yes, let's do it," I mean, that's big. His family doesn't live here.
That's a good man. Shout out to all the good guys. We have an interesting trendmill topic, and it's very, very similar to your situation. And I'm sure you can share your experience about living and working away from family. You relocated back together. Do you ever picture a scenario where you live apart and you're long distance parenting? You're already in a relationship, the two of you. It's long distance. That's a strain in itself for greener pastures. And you want to relocate to Kenya, move back home. You want to start a business, but he has an opportunity elsewhere. Do you see that picture playing out? And what advice do you have for couples that are in this situation?
Well, I think it's a case-by-case basis because my parents did it, and I've seen it work for a very long time. I have two sisters, and all of us are grown now, and it's worked very well for my parents. When I think about myself, I don't think I could do it. I don't think that it's for me and my husband as a couple. But that's not to say that it's not for anybody else, because it kind of depends on the dynamics of your relationship. I would say that for us, we need to be together a lot of the time.
Wherever you are,
we're better together. We put out better energy together in, I would say, most circumstances. And so I think that would be a challenge that would not be worth introducing to our relationship. It's not to say that it wouldn't work for anybody else. And, also there's times where that is the only option. So that you make the options you have. You make the choices that you have. And so I don't think there's a blanket answer to that, but it's not for me.
I like that. There's a lot of people who feel they cannot even consider. They don't even invite the idea. There are others who feel whatever it takes to get that coin, we are doing what we need to do. I
am mad at that, though.
And I like that you're saying that it depends on the kind of relationship you have. And as a couple, as a family, what you're willing to work around. I think it depends on the couple. I'm seeing a lot of comments here. And of course, you can call in on 0719012600. We're going to be giving away something special so that people can try this product. Take us through the varieties that you have.
Awesome. So we've got we've got our pads. We've got a daytime pad and we've got a nighttime pad. The daytime pad is more of a regular size. It's for the technical people, it's 210 mm. And this one is, your regular everyday, just thin, light, you're on the go. And then we've got the nighttime pad, which is it's longer and it's wider, and it's also got extra absorption because we want to make sure that you're sleeping at night, especially for the moms, because you need the sleep. So we want to make sure that you are sleeping at night and you don't have to get up to change your products. And so we've got those. We also carry tampons. Those will be ready to ship out in July.
Nice.
And we've gotten a lot of questions about that, so we're excited to get those out to you. That's our range. We are very focused on ensuring that you have a beautiful experience all through your period, all through menstruation, because enough of us have had terrible experiences. We don't need any more terrible experiences. And menstruation is the source of life. When you really think about it, it's a spiritually beautiful thing. And so why not feel beautiful? Why not feel like a goddess because you are?
I love this. And people can also get in touch with you on social media?
Yes, they can. We're making sure that we're there to hear you. We're there to serve you. So our social media handles are Vaji Life, so VAAJI Life. You'll find us on Instagram. We've got a website as well, vajilife.com. So if you go on there and you want to contact us, just go on that and tell us. We want to hear it all. We are really, really looking for feedback. So please let us know. So far, we've gotten some really good reviews that have come in, and you can check those out on our Instagram as well. But it's also been nice to hear what people want more of, because we had a conversation earlier about the nighttime pads and those being really popular. And I could see why they're popular. And so it's really good information for us to know, because then we can serve you better. We're here to serve you.
Fantastic. I love the fact that you've immersed yourself in this, and it's, now a huge part of your life. A lot of women are going to be very excited to try this product. I'm going to tell you how you can win, so stick around. It's 4:30. I'm loving this conversation. And of course, you can get on the hashtag Spice Drive. Shout out to Bridget and Jamil. You are saying... Dean Amos is tagging you as the WCW. I've got the feedback on today's conversation, the treadmill. Would you live and work away from your family for greener pastures? What would it take? What sacrifices would you make? There's a huge conversation on long distance parenting. There's parents who have to just walk that journey with their children online, on phone calls, because they have to make sure that, life is easy and comfortable for them. Dawn says, I prefer being close to my family, watching kids grow, than being away in the name of making more cash. What is more cash? What do you define as greener pastures? Get on the hashtag, get in on the conversation, 0719-012-600. David Amanya, I see you listening in from Kisumu 102.5, and more of the greatest hip-hop love songs of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, Cindy Arunga Ntambwe-Kalala, women's health advocate and the CEO of Vaji. Thank you so much for joining us on the Spice Drive. You want to send some shout-outs? Special shout-outs?
Oh. I didn't know this was for me. I thought it was for the
It's for you too, my WCW.
Well, WCW.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to give this to Vanessa, who is on our team, and who designed the beautiful packaging that you see. She, I shared my vision for this with her and told her how I wanted women to feel when they saw it, and she knocked it out the park. So she's my WCW today.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming in and for sharing this with us. We're going to be giving you more details on how you can get this product. 100% Kenyan, brilliant young Kenyan CEO doing her thing. What better way to celebrate our Wednesday than with this?